discuss the first aspect of the present tense, that is simple present or indefinite present. Today we are going to take up the second aspect of present tense, that is present continuous or progressive present. So we will discuss this tense and will compare and contrast it with present indefinite also, so that its use may become clear to the learners. So present continuous, it refers to an activity that is happening at the moment of speaking. When something is taking place right now, then we use present continuous tense. But how present continuous tense is formed, first we need to learn about it. We use subject, then the then the use of be is there. We make use of be plus verb plus ing. So this is the pattern of forming sentences in present continuous. We use either of these three words, is, am, are. These are the finite forms of the verb be. And we use is when the subject is singular, third person, that is he, she, it. If there is a singular noun, then that stands for either he, she, it. So we say he is playing cricket. She is knitting a sweater. Or it is raining. Yeah, the dog also stands for it. The dog is running. But if the subject is I, then we use am. Am is used only with the subject I. And if the subject is you and plural, then we use are. I am eating breakfast. You is also treated as plural and we use are. You are not listening to me. They are making a noise. So such words as just, such words as still, now, at this moment, indicate that the action is happening right now. It is still raining. He is sleeping now. At this moment, he is talking to his friend. So when we talk about some event which is happening at the moment of speaking, then we use present continuous by using is, am, are and ing with the main verb. So when we are to formulate negative sentences, then we use not just after the helping verb. He is not playing cricket, he is not eating breakfast, and in case some interrogative sentence is to be formed, then we place is, am, are before the subject. Is he sleeping? Is he having breakfast? Are they playing cricket? Are they making noise? So these are the ways how we form positive, negative and interrogative sentences. Now it is not used only in the case where when the activity is happening currently or at this moment. Rather, this can be sometimes it also tells about the beginning of process of some longer activity. That activity may not be happening right now, but the process for that longer activity has already started, as is indicated by these sentences. He is writing a novel. This does not mean that at this moment also he is writing a novel. He has started the process of writing a novel. This implies that it is a longer activity and that is ongoing activity and is happening in the current times, though not at this moment of speaking. You other man say he is reading a book on Mahatma Gandhi. This also implies that he has started reading this book and it is an ongoing activity. So it may not be happening at this moment when this is being told. So in such a sentence, when some activity is a longer one and its process has already started, then we use present continuous to explain such activities also. Sometimes present continuous is also used when some action is repeated continuously, though this kind of action is considered annoying or undesirable. Sometimes, though we use present indefinite with such adverbs of frequency as always, often, but present continuous is used with always only when the action being done by the subject is annoying or a negative one. For instance, is always talking in the class. He is always asking for a loan. They are always complaining against their teacher. In the sentence, he is always talking in the class. It is an annoying act. He keeps disturbing the class. So, in this sentence, just to show that the activity being done by the subject is of some negative nature, then we use continuous tense along with always also. Otherwise, we generally use always with simple present. He always speaks the truth. He always goes to school in time. So such when there is a positive sense, then we use always with simple tense. But when some negative sense is involved, then always can be present continuous tense can be used with this verb of frequency. Now present continuous tense is also used to talk about future arrangement. When we have made a plan to do something in the near future, for instance, we can say we are having dinner at a restaurant tonight. He is going to the club tomorrow, where he is going to America next week. So these are all activities which are arranged, and some sort of preparation for those activities have already initiated. And when we have made up our mind to do something in the near future, that arrangement is not expressed by using will, rather we use present continuous to talk about pre-planned programs which are likely to happen in the near future. So this is another use of present continuous when we talk about the future, about the arrangement made for the future and which is in the near future, not in a distant future. Similarly, sometimes we talk about when the situation is temporary and not permanent one. For instance, he, my brother, is living in Delhi. My brother lives in Delhi. There is a difference in the meaning of these two sentences. If we say my brother is living in Delhi, his stay in Delhi is temporary. Where he is living there for some temporary moments, temporary time only. But when we use present indefinite, it is a permanent arrangement. And how long it will last cannot be predicted. But it is predictable that after a short span of time, he may not be living in Delhi. So this shows temporary condition, this shows almost regular or permanent condition. In the same manner, sometimes we say when we use present indefinite and say he is clever, it shows his permanent feature of nature. Is it? He is clever by nature, by temperament. But when we use continuous tense, it means that he is not in general a clever person. But today, due to some reason, he is posing to be clever. So being clever shows some temporary change in nature, whereas his present indefinite shows his permanent features of his character. So this kind of discipline, he is being over clever, yeah, he is being responsible today. So generally, he doesn't perform his duty with a sense of responsibility. But today, he is pretending to be responsible. So this there is a difference in the meaning of these two sentences, being clever and he is clever. Similarly, though we don't use present continuous in stative verbs, but if that is a temporary reaction, in that case we can use present continuous even with stative verb. For instance, I love his coming to my house. Here, love is a stative verb and it shows present indefinite is generally used when it is a stative verb. But when he is loving, Here is loving use because it is a temporary phenomenon. He generally doesn't love talking to his teacher, but today, if he is doing so, it shows the transitoriness of the stative verb. When stative verb is used just to show a temporary condition, then we use continuous tense. I am considering, for example, he is hating listening to this music. He doesn't hate music. It is a temporary reaction because of the music not being of his liking. So in this kind of situation, when he is hating shows temporary reaction, not the general reaction, we are allowed to use continuous tense even in stative verbs. So these are the different usage of continuous tense. So in case we want to make comparison how present continuous tense and present indefinite tense are used in different types of sentences, some example can be discussed. He always wear white clothes, but today he wear a blue shirt. He always shows habit, repeated action, and in such sentences we generally use present indefinite. We say he always wears white clothes. But it is not a repeated action, it relates to the present time only. Today he is wearing a blue shirt. We will not say he wears a blue shirt because it is not his habit to wear a blue shirt. Whenever we talk about present moment, then we use present continuous, and if it refers to some habit, routine, some nature, a regular nature of some person, then we use present indefinite. Here we will use he is wearing a blue shirt. He always go to college on scooter. But today he go there on foot. So this is his nature that he goes to college on scooter daily, and so when a repeated action happens, we use present indefinite, we will use goes. But this is not a habitual action, it is a single action which is happening today alone. Then we will say he is going there on foot. He is going there on foot today. So when some habit is shown, repeated action is shown, then we use present indefinite. And when something is happening at this moment of time, yeah, in the present moment, then we use present continuous. So this kind of distinction we have to bear in mind, that a repeated action generally has present indefinite tense, but a single action or the action happening at the present moment is expressed through present continuous. So this is all about present continuous which we need to bear in mind. And if you bear these rules in mind, you will definitely be able to avoid the mistakes which students generally commit because of their and not proper knowledge about these two tenses, about these two aspects of the present tense. So I hope that this would have benefited you, and I want you to express your liking by pressing the like button and subscribing to this channel so that more such videos can be produced.